Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter and Pisces Feng Shui. This is the shift of Jupiter into Pisces, which isn't going to be like forever right now. This isn't the actual Jupiter moving into Pisces, but this is the preview. It's 2.5 months. We have about 2 months to go, a little more than that, of Jupiter in Pisces and what that means. And this is probably I'd say, one of the most exciting things is Jupiter shifts for me, because Jupiter is the planet that exemplifies everything that we love. Jupiter is the planet that exemplifies more of the expansion in life. Jupiter exemplifies more abundance, more love, more action, more all the positive things in life expanding. So have you ever heard this saying, like, this person has the Midas touch and everything they touch turns to gold? That's the idea of Jupiter. Everything it touches turns to gold. All the best aspects of everything it touches comes to life. And so when we talk about Jupiter moving into Pisces, even though it's brief right now, it's about all the best aspects of Pisces energy and everything that's happening in your chart right now coming to life, but everything happening in life coming to life. So we're going to get a preview right now of what's going to happen in 2022. So before we go further, this is one of these shifts that hasn't happened since 2010 was when Jupiter was solidly in Pisces the last time. And during that time, one of the notable things that happened that I recognized was this huge rise in wellness. It was when Mind Body Green was just getting started. We were writing for Mind Body Green. It was when there was this interest in, it was when all of a sudden everyone was interested. No one knew what I was doing with Feng Shui and all these different modalities that I was working with. Everyone thought I was crazy. And in 2010, the tides shifted and people were like, tell me more. And it was this huge rise in interest in all things to do with wellness. And we're going to see why when we talk about what's happening right now and how it's going to possibly blow up your life in the best possible ways of wellness and abundance and awesomeness. So I'm curious as to how this next Jupiter in Pisces, once we get into 2022, is going to really echo into popular culture, into society. Jupiter has a lot to do with the highest vibes. It has a lot to do with the mystical, the spiritual. This may be a rise in acceptance of different healing modalities or different next level ways of thinking and living. There's certainly been this great shift since I've read a lot since the pandemic of people really working on themselves on a deeper level. All of this isolation has really taken a toll on a lot of people, but pushed them to really get deep into their own personal, emotional well-being, their sense of fulfillment, what brings them joy, reprioritizing. And that's really gearing up for what this is all about, because this is this expansion of all the high vibrations, all your manifesting power, all things that you want, all of your passions coming to life. How exciting is that, right? So we can consider these months sort of getting sent, getting put together. Someone just asked if Feng Shui is different in the Southern Hemisphere. Not the way that I work. The way that I work with Feng Shui is based on your experience of the space itself, which won't change whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere. And I have tons of students that are in the Southern Hemisphere and they have groundbreaking success. So I know that this holds true. So you don't have to switch things around in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, this is a season we're walking into of breakthroughs, of real opening up to fresh energy. And the greatest part about this is that your well-being, your wellness, your rejuvenation, your relaxation, your real revitalization will lead to more manifestation and abundance. And I've seen this to be true time and time and time and time and time again. But sometimes it's like, where do I begin? And the reason is because so many people are burned out. So I've been reading some studies lately. How many of you feel burned out? At all, like even slightly. This is a time to really dig into eliminating burnout from your vocabulary, really bringing all your energy back. You might even want to like open your arms and start by saying, I'm going to call all my energy back to me. Burned out, like let's bring it all back. Surveys were done that showed that workers who were surveyed, this was American surveys that were done, were responding between 60 and 80% in different industries, completely burned out. And that wasn't even including healthcare workers who haven't had a break in a year and a half. It's dramatic. That's an issue because burnout starts with the exhaustion and the feelings of being depleted. And then it morphs over time. It just gets more and more and more and more and more difficult to push yourself through the day. And when you're pushing yourself through the day and you're forcing yourself and trying to motivate yourself to get through the day, it just starts taking more of a toll and more of a toll and more of a toll. So mind, body, spirit, rejuvenation is the massive message of Jupiter and Pisces, because it will lead you to more of the things that often we're working like crazy to get: success, abundance, amazing experiences, having a sense of accomplishment, having a sense of purpose from a really calm, grounded, flowing, awesome place. And so when we talk about rejuvenation and really getting over burnout, we're talking about the root chakra. If you haven't seen the chakra video series I've done yet, it's a whole playlist. It's on my channel. You can go there and watch the whole thing if you want, or watch the ones that interest you. But the root chakra has to do with your adrenals, which have to do with your vitality and feeling all of your energy and all of your endocrine system functioning properly. And also the root chakra has to do with your abundance, your money, your security, your stability, and your sense of peace and safety and grounding and presence and power. How important is that? But yet we are taught from a very young age, many of us, that how you feel doesn't matter. What you achieve matters. How you feel doesn't matter. Stop being lazy. Stop dreaming and being in the clouds. You need to go and do all this stuff. You need to push yourself. You need to push harder, grind more, do all this. Yes, hard work is awesome, but it's not awesome when you feel trashed or when you're pushing yourself to limits where you're not refueling. It's a real negative feedback loop. And I know that for some people, it's very difficult to extricate yourself from all the responsibilities that you have. But if you can find time to do more of what's going to refuel you, first, second chakra, it's going to make an epic difference in the way this year unfolds and how you move into next year. Keep an eye on your emotional, energetic, physical well-being. Hold that on a pedestal as your achievement, and all the other achievements, all the success and the accolades and the awards and the rewards and all the things are going to happen so much faster. Does anyone hear that and go, that's not going to work because I have to work so hard? She doesn't understand how hard I have to work. I do, because I'm one of those people who is burned out too. Exactly, Sue. Self-care. Dream big and self-care. Dream big and self-care. And, you know, for all of you who have experienced any sort of issue with your health where it's become magnified, you know what it's like to not have that. And you never want to take it off the highest priority on your list. But unfortunately, sometimes all the forces of life can pull us in different directions. This is a time to pull yourself back to the center and say, I come first. my wellness, my well-being. This is how I'm going to serve my community, my family, the people that I love, how I'm going to do my job in the best possible ways, how I'm going to create the best things by feeling as good as possible. So, if this is resonating with you, let me know, because I've talked to so many people, and to me, burnout has many different stages. Feeling disempowered, physical self-care starts falling away, and it's like a slow, gradual thing where you're okay, and then all of a sudden, you're not. And it can really play tricks on you, because you can think it's something with your mind, you can think it's something with your emotions, and it can very well be, but sometimes it's literally physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, total overwhelm. So that is going to be a thing of the past now, because we're prioritizing wellness over all things. Enough sleep is critical. If you're not getting enough sleep, now's the time to get more sleep, even if that means sleeping in whatever chance you get, just to build up those reserves and fill up your body a little bit more. Any chance you get to take a break, take a day off, take more time away from computer screens. If you're so sleep deprived, now is the time. Shut this off and go to sleep if you can. If you have trouble sleeping, there are a few things I can recommend for your bedroom. The first is to clean your bedroom. We're going to talk about decluttering in a little while, but decluttering, cleaning your bedroom, and not doing it frantically, but just doing it in a very leisurely way. All of the stuff of Jupiter and Pisces is about flow and leisurely, not intense and let's do this right now. So it's this leisurely flow. And so you might want to clean your bedroom, wash your bedding, make sure that you've got like no dust lingering around. All of this stuff just creates a higher vibrational environment to sleep in, which really does make a difference. Another thing you can do to sleep better, a lot of times my clients put either amethyst or they put rose quartz on their nightstands. You don't have to do that, but it certainly is something that can bring more relaxation, intention, and love intention into your bedroom. That could be really, really lovely. Also, when it comes to your bedroom, get blackout curtains if you don't have them. Blackout curtains can change your life. I went from really strong blackout curtains to a little bit less where more light comes through, and it changed the quality of my sleep. I'm going back to absolute darkness. It is essential. It does something different. And so blackout curtains, and the biggest thing is this and this that you're looking at, whatever you're looking at, and all the podcasts and all the music and all the TV and all the conversations and all the texts and everything gets shut off at a set hour. You decide when, shut it off at least an hour before bed, try for 2. It will make, I don't care if you're listening even to self-help things or relaxation things, listen to them before you shut it all off, and then shut it all off and give yourself real time for, as someone mentioned, your physical self-care. Take a bath, do a scalp massage, which is great for your crown chakra, your overarching energy system. Like really massage your scalp, wash your face, put on lotion. Skincare is incredible for your root chakra, this grounding base energy that will empower your life. Do things that are just for you. Grab a book and read it, not a workbook, a pleasure book. Do some meditation that's just quiet. All these things that will help you to wind down into sleep. One other thing for sleep that I love very much personally is to have magnesium. I have magnesium powder that I put in water and hot water and put a tea bag in with it. And it is game changing. Often, if I don't have enough magnesium, I find that I get really tense. Sometimes I'll grind my teeth. I don't know if you grind your teeth, but it just puts everything back into proper alignment. So that's what works for me. But all these simple shifts can help you to sleep more. But the biggest thing to sleep more is to set that intention that your sleep matters. your rejuvenation matters. And if you notice that, okay, 3 days this week, I only slept 6 hours, I'm going to make it up at the end of the week. I'm just going to let myself sleep more. I'm going to bed early. I'm going to take a nap when I can. I'm going to spend the weekend like really resting. I'm going to let myself sleep in as late as I need to. See if you can work a little bit of that out for yourself, and it's going to make an amazing difference. Now, the thing about burnout that I think I misunderstood, and now that I'm really making myself more aware of this, is that when I was really burned out, like couldn't get out of bed burned out, it took me a long time. Like it took me probably a few months to start feeling my energy coming back. And when I did, I was like, great, I'm done. I'm back to normal. And I kind of took it easy for a while. And then I was back to normal. And back to normal is like just all over the place all the time. And even though I do all these wellness practices and all these things and energy clearing and everything's high vibes, you can get burned out by high vibes too, guys. Yes, you can. I did. And I just couldn't learn the lesson fully. So until I was forced to. And then when it came back more again, it took a little bit of time and I got back to normal. And then I was more mindful, but I realized I never fully recovered all my energy. Now I'm in the process of doing that. It's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. You might want to learn more for yourself about restoring what you need and giving yourself the time to do that. I'm giving myself the trajectory of a year to fully recover every bit of energy that I feel like I have burned out over the last probably 6 years. And last year was a real interesting one. And I think for a lot of people, it took a toll that we aren't fully realizing. And now we're starting to address it. So I think this revitalization of Jupiter and Pisces couldn't come at a better time. So this huge theme of setting up your sleep spaces, sleeping more self-care, turn your bathroom into more of a home spa, really get into this feeling that your self-care and well-being on every level, including saying no when you need to, including being mindful of where you're spending your energy, including maybe cutting out toxic relationships that you don't need or want anymore, for everyone's highest good. All of these things can be superchargers for your energy and for your manifesting and for your life. And for those of you who are a little worried that if I work less or if I sleep more, I'm going to lose my edge. I'm going to lose my competitive edge. I'm going to lose my momentum. I'm not going to be succeeding. No. I promise you, you will be succeeding. You'll have more intuition at your fingertips, which we're going to talk about right now. You'll have more of your dynamism and glow. You'll be more literally magnetic. Right now, the Breakthrough Camp is starting, which is the Feng Shui camp to literally align all your energy, restore yourself completely, and start making big breakthroughs in the process. And since that camp started, that's when my journey of really getting my energy back has really taken hold. And that's why I'm committed to getting that little piece I have left, no matter how long it takes, a year more. I'm committed to seeing it through because I know that with each bit of energy I get back, things come easily. And this isn't airy fairy stuff. This is proven. People who sleep more have higher IQ. People who identify themselves as more well-rested and mentally in a great place have so much more opportunity. Happier people are overall more successful and make more money, not because they're making the money. They were happier to start with because that energy is magnetic and it starts from you, not from outside circumstances. So this is this deep reboot. When I was on my healing journey, I learned you must learn to love yourself, that things fall into place better after that. And they certainly did for you. And yes, they do. And I celebrate your journey ever since your big news. I am just, I'm so psyched, so excited for you. All this wellness, all this expansiveness. Everything is possible when you feel better. This is about infinite possibility, which is the awesomeness of Jupiter, more infinite possibility. So now, when we talk about multiplying your manifesting power and making all these breakthroughs, your intuition is key. No one knows what the best choice for you is in anything but you. Not the best psychic, not the best astrologer. You can get lots of insight and lots of feedback from every oracle. But ultimately, you need to know with certainty within you that you're on all the right paths, that you're taking the right steps for you, that you're showing up for the right meetings, that you're making the plans that matter, that you're prioritizing what's most important. So your intuition is your guiding light. How do you access more of it within yourself? And that brings us back to this sense of water. And this is the last big point we're going to talk about today, the energy of water. Water is the element of personal introspection and flow and intuition. This is all Jupiter stuff. Jupiter is a water sign. Jupiter's not a water sign. Pisces stuff. Pisces is a water sign, but Jupiter stuff is expanding all of this, right? Expanding all of this sense of introspection, looking within, being comfortable looking within, and having all of this insight come from enough alone time, enough time to daydream, enough time to brainstorm, not frantically, but just playing around with different ideas. I have a giant sketch pad. I've shown it to people often. I often pick it up and show you. I'll show you how giant it is. This isn't even the biggest one, but I have these giant sketch pads, and these are my daydreams where I sit down and grab a bunch of pens and pencils and things and literally just daydream ideas together and all types of things, whether it's travel or home design projects or all sorts of other things, and just put it all on paper and look at it all and play around with all these things. Do you give yourself enough time to daydream, to let yourself play, experiment, flow? One thing that's really helpful, and this is something that I've mentioned in other videos, is to let go of too much control. How much of you are control freaks? I am by nature. I feel like I was born that way. I am not as much of one anymore. In fact, it's very, very rare that I feel that feeling come up. But how many of you feel that? How many of you feel that feeling of, I want this to work out just this way, or this has to be perfect, or this has to be exactly right. It has to go all the ways it needs to go exactly how I see it. Sometimes when you're really that specific and focused on just one thing, you actually put a lot of stress on your manifesting process. And at the same time, you bring a lot of stress to your life. And what does stress do? It burns you out. It brings you right back to the beginning of this video. And not only does it burn you out, but it pulls you away from your intuition. How many of you have gone to an amazing intuitive or had like a really flowing time in your life where things just fell into place? When that was happening, were you sitting and stressing out? No, I guarantee you weren't. And I guarantee you that you didn't go see a tarot reader or a psychic or someone else who was all stressed out because that's not how intuition works. Intuition will not flow when you're all amped up. That's when you're disconnected. It's about getting connected. So it starts with grounding, feeling more present, even spending more time in nature. If you can every day, go walk and see some trees. I know it doesn't sound like it's watery, but it'll help you get present. Now, to capture more of this energy of water, just drinking more water can actually enhance your intuition. Now, let's get back to control, and then we'll talk more about building water, because this is part of building water. When you're trying to control everything, all this stress pulls you far away from who you are and all your power. So we don't need any of that, right? Instead, what you can do is when you find yourself doing this, shake it out and physically move anywhere. Go wash your dishes, sweep the stairs, do some stretching, go for a walk. That's when you can go out in nature anything to move from your head through your body and really work that energy out of you so it's not getting stuck. But also, I like to remind myself of that very important phrase, this or something better for me is manifesting right now. This or something better. Meaning, if you try to control everything, right? Not only are you fighting against nature and fighting against the flow of life and everything else, but it's that really crazy feeling where it has to go this way, and you might miss out on a bazillion other opportunities. A lot of times people say, oh, now's not the time. Sometimes people will say, now's not the time to invest money. You missed out on this great opportunity in the market. But then you find out that most of the people who make the most money investing invest in the downturns in the market. Different ways of looking at things, right? If you look at things from a rigid perspective that you can only get exactly what you want, exactly the way that you want it, which is how I was raised, which is how possibly you might have kind of picked that up, that sense of wanting to control, wanting to make sure everything is exactly right. Rather, lean into more trust. This or something better is manifesting now. This or something better. I'm going to show up. I'm going to take the steps. I'm going to bring my best to everything that I do. And this or something better is coming. I'm going to stay grounded. I'm going to be more relaxed. Being more relaxed is more like water. When water is not relaxed, it's destructive. That's tidal waves and tsunamis, right? It's superstorms. We don't need that. This is about the water that restores and rejuvenates. It's about the water that brings more life force to you and brings you fresh starts. So this or something better is manifesting for me now. Let go of some of that control. Let go, that whole saying, let go and let the universe take the wheel, or however you conceive of it, but just surrendering more to the flow of things, showing up and doing your best and surrendering to the flow of things can be energy that opens doors. And that's what this beautiful time is all about, opening doors, making breakthroughs, preparing yourself, getting your energy together, preparing yourself to make these massive breakthroughs. So if you take away something from this today that can be helpful, it's that burnout is not a permanent state of life. You can change that. You can, from every level, you may need to see a doctor. I've seen doctors, I've seen healers, but the most important thing that everyone told me is you have to rest more, you have to pace yourself, you have to stop doing all these things that are unnecessary, and you have to give yourself downtime, you need to close your computer, all these things that we already know. Knowing things and doing things are two different things. You want to be the person who does things. It's much more important to be the person who does things than the person who knows everything. And so I aspire to not just know all the things, but do the things that matter most. And when I'm doing all these things for myself, life is easy. And when I'm not, I feel like I'm rolling a boulder up a hill, and I feel like I'm fighting exhaustion. And I know it can be confusing, guys, especially if your life is relatively positive or there's so many good vibes and there's so many good things happening. It can be confusing. Why am I so tired? Why am I exhausted? Why am I burned out? Doesn't matter. Yes, bad vibes definitely can smash your life a lot more and feel way more oppressive. But even if you're flying high on the greatest vibes and you're on a roll, you still need that pause, that deep recharge, that real unplug makes such a big difference. So embrace that spirit of water, drink more water, eat more watery foods. For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere and even the Southern Hemisphere, it's a great time to have more melons, more juicy fruits. There's all kinds of things flooding the farmers markets now. Have more cucumbers. I've been having cucumber juice for breakfast, which is amazing. Really hydrating, lots of water, add fruit to it. Really embrace more water on every level. You can go to a fountain, you can go swimming, just feel that water. Even when you're taking a shower, feel the water, almost like contact, get in touch with the spirit of the water and see how that makes your whole body feel, that refreshing, really restorative energy. So, so important, because when you do this, you'll start to be more aligned. And when you're more aligned, you'll start to make breakthroughs. And when you start making breakthroughs, you'll be tempted to push yourself and come out of this magic zone. Don't do that. Take the wins, celebrate them, and still rest and restore yourself and keep on making breakthroughs. The greatest breakthroughs are the ones you make when you feel fantastic and you continue to feel fantastic. And that absolutely is possible. I promise you it is. And so someone asked, do we need to work more on the water elements of the Bagua map for this Jupiter and Pisces time, like the north area, for example? Not really. So I am not a big fan of making changes in your home based like that type of elemental change in your home based on a transit in the sky or anything else, because ultimately your home first and foremost needs to support you fully. And so if you need more water personally, you can do that not just for Jupiter and Pisces, but you could do it just in general. You might get a fountain for your house. You might get another water feature. You might have a picture of water on the walls, or get something glass or anything else that's very watery for you. And that can be wonderful. Or just a picture of water can be great. But you don't need to go and do all kinds of things to your house just for this in this way. But incorporating more water and connecting to more water, but more over the spirit of water, is going to make a big difference, because water doesn't force itself when it's flowing. Water is not at its best when it's forced. It's when it's flowing. Water is full of radiance and sparkle. Water is calm. It's just, there's so much greatness in this. And that's the energy that multiplies your manifesting power. And restoring you. So I guess this video could be called Burnout and Jupiter and Pisces, overcoming burnout. And if that's what it resonates to you as, that might be the most important message, because these statistics are shocking. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of people who are watching this, if you're not waking up every day, for the most part, feeling vibrant and feeling like your energy is constant throughout the day, you may be in some level of burnout. And or just you feel overwhelmed mentally, anything else. It's a good thing to look at, not to label yourself or sort of diagnose yourself or create a problem, but to look at, because it's a call and an opportunity to expand, to fill yourself up, to expand into greater energy, and the results will always be epic. So if y'all have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you all for all your comments. I love reading them, and the Breakthrough Camp is open. I'm going to link below when I post this, the link to the Breakthrough Camp, but also the link to the free Breakthrough Camp video series, which can help you to refresh your home and get ready to create more of that dynamic alignment. And I'll also link the chakra video series playlist if you want to play around with that as well. I am burned out, worn out, and tired. Some days are starting to get better, though. That's amazing that they're starting to get better. And note for yourself what makes you feel better. Sometimes it's unusual. Sometimes it's a nap in the middle of the day. Sometimes it's drinking a certain herbal tea. Notice what's helping you on the days that you do it, that you feel better, or decisions that you make, or exercises that you do, or anything else. See if you notice things that are helping you and really make them regular. That's how I got myself more clear on what was working and what wasn't. You can open up a whole big ball of options. There's a whole bunch of infinite options to restore your energy, but ultimately the ones that you are drawn to, that make the most sense to you, that are the easiest for you to do, are usually the ones that work the best. So I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better and better. Thank you guys so much. Happy Jupiter and Pisces time. I'll be back next week because it's eclipse season, and lots of speeding forward positive change, but again, done with that sense of not blowing out your energy or moving to level 10, just getting ready to open your arms, open your heart to receiving more amazing things. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, there's so many videos on the channel that you might enjoy if you enjoyed this, and you can subscribe. And I will be back. I'm back live 2 or 3 times a month now. I hope you're enjoying these. I enjoy them so much, and I love getting to know you all and seeing y'all come up. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you, Evangeline. And I'm wishing you all so much vitality and glow in the season ahead. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.